All right, how are we doing today, YouTubers or wherever you're watching this? Today, let's talk about recovery. It's become kind of a hot issue in the fitness, wellness, health world over the last few years with all the gizmos and gadgets and smartwatches and rings and all the even just the foam rollers and massage guns and all these tools that come out for recovery. But the real problem is people are getting ahead of themselves and believing that they need to recover from something. But what are you recovering from? Most people don't train hard enough to recover. Most people, you are working out what, maybe 2 times a week, if that, and you're so worried about, am I going to be able to recover from this 30-minute workout? Let's take a step back and figure out first, in order to recover, you need to work hard. You need to train hard. You need to stress the body, put the body, stimulate the body, find a stimulus that works well. And a lot of times that's a good, solid training plan. That's the first thing you need in recovery is a solid training plan. So make sure you're actually pushing your body to actually need recovery. And yes, we're going to talk mainly about the training aspect and recovering from that, but you could also need recovery from a lot of other things, from work, from stress, from family. There's a lot of things that go into everyone's individual situation and allowing for recovery. But again, we get ahead of ourselves because it's the same with nutrition and supplements. Everyone wants to push the supplements before actual nutrition. It's the same thing with recovery. We want to push these tools that, yes, they can help. But again, that is the last thing you need. Don't, whatever, the old cliche, cart before the horse. That's putting the cart before the horse. And with recovery, again, it's the whole big recovery. Same with big pharma, big food companies, big supplement companies pushing their agenda in recovery with these tools and trackers. And don't get me wrong, I use stuff. I use an Aura Ring. Am I obsessed with it? No, I have been in the past, but I've gotten away from, I need to worry about what this ring tells me, or I have a Morpheus band that does HRV in recovery and stuff like that. No, I listen to my body because I push my body hard in training, and I know when I need to recover and what I need to recover. And again, I think we're so obsessed with recovery as completely resting and doing absolutely nothing, when most people need to be doing more. That's not saying you need to go balls to the wall, because most people's training sucks anyway. It's going to these dumb group classes or cycling classes, and then they're just going as hard as they can, but they're really not. They're just going high effort all the time rather than high intensity. And that's not the way you should be training all the time. I've done it. I know. I say these things because I've put myself through them for the last 15, 20 years. I've done all this stuff. And not recovering and overtraining and under recovering, all these terms you hear. But it's truly about a few simple things that we need to do, and it's going to sound like everything else. Yes, they're basic. Yes, they're simple, but they're simple in terms of they're not complex in what you need to do. They're hard to do because people just don't prioritize them. But again, it's the big recovery, pushing all this stuff, trying to get you to buy more products and things like that, when in reality it's simple, and most people probably don't need as much recovery as they think, or you need to take all these days off. Yes, if you're an elite level athlete like the Olympians, NFL players, baseball players who probably don't get enough recovery just because they're playing every day. Yes, it's good. You might need more actual time off and maybe time not to just do much of anything. But I think with the recovery, the best recovery is to actually move your body. And again, our bodies are capable of more than we think. We have these Trainers who say, "Oh, you only need to train 3 days a week. You only need to train 4 days a week." Uh, and I think a lot of that message gets misstrued. I don't even know what the word is. Construed. I don't. Maybe that's not the word, but misinformed, misrepresented, I guess. And then they're just saying like the 3 harder days a week, probably 3 days of lifting, high intensity, that the neurological system, because there's different ways our body needs to recover. Maybe it's mental, maybe it's our central nervous system is kind of fried from like sprinting or a high intensity sport, football, where you go on collisions and stuff like that. Track and field, where you're just putting all out effort into one 10-second sprint, 12-second sprint, whatever it is. The central. Then there's muscles, joints, tendons, all the ligaments, all the stuff in your body, the physical things in your body that can use recovery, whether they're beat up or sore or whatever. But again, I don't think most people need to take full days off, especially as you get older. I think it is more important to move every day. That's not saying go out and do 10, 100-meter sprints every day. It's just moving. It's getting out off the couch. And yes, most of the time we spend half of our days sitting on the couch, sitting in a chair, sleep. Hopefully you're sleeping. Where the rest of the day you can get up and move. You can walk. You can go play with the kids. You can do some light activity, some mobility, some yoga, some whatever it is. Just moving the body, I think a lot of times is huge for recovery. But recovery starts with having a good, solid training plan in place that's gonna allow you to recover. It's probably not maxing out on squats 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row. Can you do that? Yeah, sure. German volume training, 10 by 10 or whatever it is, they did that a lot. But again, look at the situation. The context is key because those guys are probably all juiced up and stuff like that. And a lot of these, and that's what steroids do for you. They allow you to recover quicker. But again, a good solid training program plan has in place recovery, so you're not frying your nervous system. You're not destroying your muscles with a ton of volume and stuff like that. But again, I think recovery is kind of the whole thing about it is kind of messed up just because of how we promote it and how we say, oh, we need to do this. When in reality, like they tell people, oh, you only need like 3 days of 30 minutes of exercise a week. Seriously? Like, come on. We are like the laziest nation in the world. We're all 50% of us are fat or obese, basically, if not even more. We got so many diseases and things like that. These people don't need recovery. They need to freaking move. It's sad to say, like, we're going in that way, but it's because of the fast food. It's because of the sedentary lifestyle. It's not more recovery these people need in terms of the time off. They're not doing enough to warrant that recovery. They're spending their whole days recovering, sitting in a chair, doing absolutely nothing, watching TV, sitting on the computer, at work all day. Then they get home, they don't do anything. Oh, maybe they go to a workout class for 20 minutes. So whoop-de-doo. You don't need to recover from that. Again, and when it comes to recovery methods, we're going to talk about that soon. And it's simpler, but it starts with that training program that is built for your lifestyle, where you're at. Again, you might need more recovery if you're just starting out and you're going hard for a training session, then because you're going to be sore. But again, just sitting around doing nothing is probably not going to help your sore quads from that first time back squatting. It might actually help to move and walk and get down and maybe stretch and do some different things to get the blood flowing in those joints and those muscles and have you feeling better rather than, oh, I'm sore for a week and I can't do anything. And that's, again, with choosing the volume, choosing a smart training program that's not going to crush you. So you need to take a week off. Can you take time off? Yeah, there's no problem with taking time away. Like even especially with sports, after the baseball season's done, I plan on taking time away from baseball, not touching a baseball for a while, just because it's more mental, and I don't even play that much anymore. But it's just a mental wear and tear and grind on your body, and just the you kind of get bored with it, sick of it after a while. Once the season's done, we hopefully have 2 weeks left. Hopefully, if we win tonight and this weekend, go to state next week. 2 weeks, and then it's kind of like, yeah, that was a long baseball season. Trying to put on my mind, football season starting, getting ready for that. So then it's like, dude, I don't even want to see a baseball for a while after the baseball season. Then once it's the middle of December and January and February, then you start getting that itch again. Oh, spring's around the corner, baseball's coming. So yeah, that type of thing. Taking a break from I've been thinking maybe even taking breaks from sprinting, taking a week or so off on just full effort sprinting and jumping, just because the wear and tear, I've been starting to feel it in the knees and stuff like that. So we might do that. But that's because I'm doing it. I'm training hard. So taking time off. But I'm not going to stop doing anything and not just do nothing. I'm going to walk and maybe some isos and stuff like that. But again, everyone's different. You can do whatever you want, obviously. But again, have a training program that sets in that built-in time to recover. Whether it's going a high intensity day by a low intensity day, then a high, and whatever your schedule is, however it's up or lower, full body movement day, full body movement day, whatever. However you set it up, there's plenty of different ways you can set up training that is smart, that allows you to recover in between the higher intensity training sessions or whatnot. But taking full days off all the time, I found personally that doesn't really help me. Like if I take like today, I did basically sprints and jumps I did some 40s, I did some longer distance sprints, some change of direction, then some dunks. Basically did some isos after I didn't do much lifting. But again, if I take tomorrow off and do absolutely nothing, I'm going to feel like crap the next time I go to work out or take the rest of the weekend off. That's why I set mine up. So I'm doing something every day. Again, it's not high intensity all the time. It's not going balls to the wall all the time. But once you train and get used to it, your body can handle more. You can do more. You can recover faster in between sets and stuff like that. And that's another thing with the recovery is rest in between sets and reps and stuff like that. So the higher intensity, probably the more rest you need. But the more trained you are, you might need more rest so you can give in that high effort. But you can train so you're not needing as much rest too. But again, everyone's going to be different in that situation as far as like rest periods and things like that. But there's general guidelines you can follow. But again, it's about learning your body and listening to your body and what it needs. But again, as far as recovery goes, the training plan, set that up so it fits your life schedule. It can adjust. It's not set in stone. You can change your training plan throughout the weeks, the years, the months, whatever you need to adjust and adapt, and it's auto-regulate. So you're not, maybe one day you wake up, you didn't sleep well, so you're feeling like garbage. You get to the gym, you're like, oh, this 200-pound bench feels like 600 pounds, so maybe we're going to go a little lighter, a few sets or less sets, things like that. So auto-regulating based on how you're feeling that day, that's a huge thing, I think, rather than just, the sheet says I got to do 5 sets of 5 at 85%. When that 85% feels like 185%, and then it's you're not going to get all sets in or reps in. But again, having a training program that fits your life, allows you to recover in between sessions is huge. But then again, with recovery, the two main things you need to do are the simple things that everyone knows they need to do, but we just don't do them because we want to get that fancy new toy. We want to get that fancy massage gun or Normatec boots or chili pad or sauna or massage or whatever it may be. When number one, let's focus on our sleep. Again, this is so basic, but again, we don't realize the basics because we want to get we want to fall into the marketing trap of all this other stuff, all these new toys and tools that companies are selling. And like I said, that stuff can help, but get these things in first. It's not fancy. It's nothing new. It's dialing in your sleep, making sleep a priority. If you're getting quality sleep each night, you probably don't need much more else. I mean, besides number 2, which is nutrition. Sleep and nutrition are the things you need for your recovery, the top priorities, along with that solid training plan. Because that is really one. If you need more than that, then you're probably one of those high performing, active people who's doing a ton of, maybe you're training a lot, you're got a physical job, or you're a high elite athlete, pro athlete, Olympic athlete. Then you need a lot more. But once you get those things dialed in, that sleep, so you're getting quality sleep, you're setting a bedtime that is pretty consistent each night. You're waking up relatively the same time every day. You have that routine that gets you to sleep and gets up. And once you get that, you're going to feel pretty good. Your body, because that's when your body recovers, is when you sleep. Everything repairs, rebuilds muscle, all the good stuff that's happening inside and on the outside with the muscles and things like that. You're burning fat, you're building muscle outside of the gym. And along with sleep goes your nutrition. You're fueling your body for the activity that you're doing. If you're under eating all the time, or you're eating crap all the time, you're probably not going to feel the best. You're not going to perform the best. You're going to be more sore. You're going to be more tired. You're going to be more banged up and more likely to do something stupid. Your cognitive abilities are going to be worse. You're going to be less coordinated, not aware of the situations around you. So focus on that stuff and fuel your body. Yes, at times you might want to cut weight. If you're overweight and obese, you probably want to cut weight. So you're not going to be eating as much. But one of the goals with that is to eat as much as you can while still losing weight, or fat, I should say. Weight's easy to lose. You can just go take a poop or a pee and you lose weight. But we're looking to burn fat. But again, you want to perform, you want to fuel. Most people don't eat enough, especially when they switch to eating healthier. They're eating all this garbage and calories, but then they cut back and they're not eating enough. Not eating enough sodium a lot of times when you go from like the high fast food diet, because all that is salt and sodium and a bunch of other garbage. So they're not fueling their body that way. Make sure you're hydrated to fuel, and make sure you eat enough. And again, nutrition is super individualized. It's going to depend. Yes, there's the basics. Focus on foods that are from the earth, plants, that type of stuff. Plants, rice, carbs. So basically anything that comes from the earth. Potatoes, nuts and seeds, all that stuff. And then foods that come from animals, your meat, your fish, your eggs, dairy if you're not lactose intolerant. Those types of things are going to fuel you up. And you don't need to cut out any of them. Just eat proteins, carbs, and fats. Find foods you like. Find a meal plan that you like. Fasting can work for people. Other people it doesn't. It's about finding what fits you. There's no one way to do nutrition. Again, I think it's best that if you are eating protein, carbs, and fats, some people thrive on the keto diet and all this other stuff, but most people don't. It's not sustainable, and that's the whole thing. You want something that's sustainable that you can prioritize and last a long time. But knowing that, you are going to experiment. Your body's going to change over time. It might develop, even if you're eating good quality foods, you might develop intolerances to certain foods that just don't sit right after a while. And again, that's where adapting and learning and growing and listening to your body are really going to play a big role in your sustained progress and success. And know that it's not going to be linear progress. It's up and down. It's that roller coaster. But figure out what works for you. That's the main thing. And get these things dialed in for your recovery, your nutrition, You're eating whole, real foods. You're eating a ton of protein. You're eating carbs for energy. You're eating fats to kind of fuel your organs and kind of the inner workings of your body, because your hormones are run on fat too, so that helps a lot. So make sure you're doing all these things rather than just neglecting certain nutrients, neglecting macros, neglecting certain food groups, uh, and hydrating and making sure because if you really want to be the best version of yourself, it's about doing this stuff. But again, not letting this stuff take away from the other areas of your life as well. If you're surrounded by, a lot of times it's the family, and the food is family too. Food is tradition. You can eat healthy and enjoy life as well. That's one of the best things about it is healthy food tastes better than crappy food once you start eating healthy, real food. I don't why it gets so stuck in this thing of saying healthy, because that's kind of the way our world works these days. But eating real, actual food, fruit tastes better than candy that's supposed to taste like fruit. If you actually taste it, and it's gonna be more nutritious. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna perform better. You're gonna recover better. Because all these foods are gonna help you recover. And once you start being more active, you can eat more. Hey, who doesn't want to eat more? This is America, people. We love to eat. Just walk down the street. You'll see, go to the mall. Or go to the store, whatever. Go to Target. You'll see half the people there are overweight, obese. So they love to eat. That's not me being a dick. Maybe it is, but it's just the truth. I grew up in a family that loves to eat. Grandma would just keep serving us food and food and food. Once you finish one plate, here's some more. And the funny thing is, Grandma was always skinny. But again, that's just part of fueling. Fueling in recovery is nutrition, is sleep. And again, you know what to do. You probably don't need to watch this video. You can probably turn this video off. You know what to do. It's about figuring out what you need to do to dial in those things, what you need to do to dial in your sleep, your nutrition, your training. And it's the main thing, I think, is making it a priority. You don't need to change it all at once. Again, it's your whole life. You want this to last. So start small, start building habits. Maybe it's setting a bedtime and you consistently do that. Boom. Then you got that bedtime down. Next let's get a consistent time we wake up. Do that for weeks and weeks and then months and months. That habit. Then those become routine. And then maybe it's like, let's get my bedroom cooler or something like that. Where if you're like me, I've turned my window or turned my air conditioning off for the last week or so because it's been cool here, but it still gets hot at night. And I run hot. So I have a fan, overhead fan, ceiling fan. I have another fan going on. I have my windows open, but I don't like them open because everyone's got dogs around and got these idiots with no mufflers on their vehicles, and some guy has a Harley or a motorcycle that always goes by, and these guys that think they're cool with their pipes on their trucks and stuff like that. So I wear earplugs when I have my windows open. But again, finding these little things, maybe it's a weighted blanket that helps, or a better mattress is a good one to help sleep, and good pillows, and find what works for you. Finding a position that sleeps. Like I've been trying to work to sleep on my back because I get tired of, especially because when I throw a lot, shoulder, because I'm a side sleeper like that. So just finding different ways and different things that are going to help your sleep, different habits that you can build. It could be not eating too close to bedtime. Could be not eating certain foods too close to bedtime. It's finding what like spicy foods can keep you up, or it's like me, high fatty meals. I noticed that I don't sleep as well. So again, listening to your body, learning your body, developing these habits that are going to help with the recovery, with nutrition. Again, people want to be so concerned about a pre-workout meal and a post-workout meal. I've had some of my best workouts when I haven't eaten or haven't slept, but that's not saying that that's ideal. You're not always going to have great night's sleep. You're not always going to have perfect meal timing and stuff like that. Push through, adjust as you go. Give your body time to recover if needed. If you need day off or a day of relax, you can change your workout. Nothing's set in stone. And if it is, you're doing something wrong. Uh, Again, you can adjust rather than just skip it. Change up, maybe do a different loaded variation in the workout. Do something, maybe instead of a back squat, you just go goblet squat or a front squat or something that's the back's feeling messed up. Whatever it is, you can adjust that. So your training should fit and help. Your training should help the recovery as well, not hinder it and make it worse. But with nutrition, again, you can work on small habits. Number one for most people is just eating more protein. After getting to whole foods, most of the time, majority of the time, you're eating that 95% of the time. Again, depending on your goals. This is my athlete for life thing. It's 95% of the time. Some people want that 80-20. That's fine. That's not me, but if that's for you, that's for you. Again, work with what you have. You don't need to listen to everyone who tells you everything. It's your life. Start thinking for yourself too. But this is just to get you kind of thinking on that recovery. That recovery is more than a massage gun or a Normatec boot or a ring that tells you you're not ready or a whoop band or whatever it is. Again, I use an Oura ring, so I use it mainly just to track sleep, but I don't become obsessed over it. I used to get really obsessed over it, over the numbers and stuff like that, and like, oh, it says I'm low recovery, I'm not going to train today. But then I'm like, screw it, I feel fine. Like it doesn't, I don't know, but it's, and I've had some of my best workouts again, like I said, on those days where I'm not hit some PRs and things like that, or sprinted. I remember I had my fastest sprint time when I wasn't recovered, and then that day I slipped and broke my toe too, so I still had like a 1 second fly 10, which is one of was my best. I haven't broke 1 second yet, but again, so the body is capable of more than you think. It's when we just neglect and don't do anything and think we need recovery when we don't need to do anything, when we don't and think we don't need to do anything because we had a workout for 20-30 minutes when most people don't work out at all or train at all. To recover, you actually need something to recover from. Again, that could be the stress from training, it could be the stress from work, but training or recovery starts with your sleep, with your nutrition, like you should already know, but instead you want to go buy that new massage gun or red light or whatever the next recovery tool is going to be, some supplement or some stupid drink that, again, if you have money to blow on that crap, go ahead. By all means, I don't really care, honestly. I'm just here to give you some information. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully you take it and kind of think again for yourself and kind of work on yourself and be that lifelong learner and grow and learn from your mistakes and figure out what's going to work best for you. But again, having a training program that fits your lifestyle and is adjustable and has you able to recover, because you should be training hard. You should be training with intent and engagement in high effort. But it shouldn't be balls to the wall, just ridiculous stuff all the time. Like you see a lot of these with a lot of CrossFit stuff and group classes and these cycling, what's the Orange Theory or whatever it's called, where it's just a lot of high effort and sweat and soreness. And then you think you need 7 days off, or you just do that 7 days in a row, and then you're too sore and you can't train for 7 days. So again, your training needs to fit in and has the recovery built in, because then you go to your sleep and your nutrition. So having those fit, so you're fueling your body with enough macros and other nutrients, and then you're sleeping enough so your body can refuel and recover. That's the main thing. It's not needing to take full days off or full weeks off all the time or deloading all the time. If you have a smart training plan, you don't need to deload. Like every 4 weeks or whatever most people do. Yeah, you might. My deloads are more mental type of things where I'm like, oh, I just need to. And again, it's not just stopping. And again, sometimes yes, taking time a day or two or a week or whatever off is fine. Like I said, when baseball's done, I'm gonna take months off of touching a baseball or swinging a bat, just because I get so mentally drained from it. Especially now that I'm 36 years old, I've been playing baseball for 30 plus years probably. So again, everyone's different, but most of the time, I think that's that big recovery, kind of stepping in and saying, "Oh, you need all this time off and you need all these fancy tools to recover." But again, what are you recovering from? Make sure you have something to recover from, and then prioritize your sleep and nutrition, and you'll be good. So that's what I have for you guys. Again, I guess then on those days off, like I said, move a little bit. Don't take a full day off. Go for a walk. Play with the kids. Do something fun you enjoy. Kind of mental reset a lot of times too. Physical reset as well. And then, heck yeah, go sit around, play some video games, read a book, watch a good movie. You do that. You can have that time where you're just sitting around doing nothing. But it's when you think recovery is just sitting around doing nothing for 7 days a week. No, you got to move during the day. We do enough sitting. We do enough doing nothing all the time at work, at just sitting around eating stuff all the time. Again, when that's the majority of your day, you're doing enough recovery. You're not doing anything else to recover from. So that's what I have for you today, guys. Hopefully that helped a little. Have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and we will talk to you again soon.